in terms of the total trade value. So we are experiencing, the fact of a decline this year with all the global challenges and economic pressure, but we hope our trade will recover strongly near the future. Meanwhile, numbers from the US Bureau of Economic Analysis shows that the direct investment from the US to Indonesia also experienced healthy growth before the pandemic, peaking at almost $20 billion in 2019. Yes, we are seeing decent post-pandemic recovery on this front, especially in important sectors like manufacturing, but we do hope that these numbers will continue to grow strongly in the years to come. But this brings me to the point that I like to share here, that we are committed and we will continue the pattern that Indonesia has had for the past few decades. Macroeconomic policy, fiscal policy were being given to the hand of two true technocrats. Someone with solid technocratic background, with solid understanding of the economy, understanding of how policies are being made to manage our macroeconomy, ensuring monetary policy, fiscal policy were in line and in the directions of our medium and long-term economic development. And that's commitment that we are holding as presidential candidates. I'm sharing this to others, and also based on our experience in the past, that when these sectors were being managed by people of competence and people of integrity, then we're good to go. But if we compromise these two things, on competency and on integrity, we may be going in the right direction, in the wrong direction. So, given that, I think we would like to send that message here. And based on our experience with conversation with the previous session with AmCham, I've been privileged to have the opportunity to share with some of you during our discussion, be it in my previous position as governor, or a few months ago, discussions with economy with AmCham. I found out that the business community, the US business community here in Indonesia, were not so much worried about macroeconomic performance. Our feedback, the feedback that we have, is more on Panis. The issue is predictability. The issue is consistency. The issue is synchronizing policies. The issue is corruption. The issue is ensuring that political stability translates into consistency of policy. So I've been hearing that, and that's not only in this community. I've been meeting with various different business communities, investment communities, be it here or internationally, at session abroad. And almost a similar message was echoed. So I must say that yes, indeed, politics is dynamics. It's everywhere in the world. But Indonesia, especially in the past few weeks, has been very, very dynamic, even on our terms. Change happens. However, I must also underline to you that Indonesians and Indonesian democracy is generally seeing our democracy as consolidated. We have seen elections during pre-democracy and post-democracy. Almost all of these elections were widely well organized, well accepted, and people move on, including local elections. I was once told, Panis, look at local elections. No less than 300 local elections being contested at the Constitutional Court. That shows we have problems. In my perspective, it doesn't show that we have problems. It shows that we respect judicial system to function. Look, they protested the election result not on the street, but going to the Constitutional Court and demand the judge to decide. And the judge has 2 weeks to decide. And when they decide this is the winner, the A or the B, they accept it. They may not be happy, but going back home and move on. And that has been the pattern of our democracy for the past 25 years. So we must be very proud of our democracy, we must be very proud of our electorate, and I think we will continue to be a consolidating democracy and an example of a vibrant democracy in this region and also across the globe. In a country that is extremely diverse, an extremely diverse country, and yet you have this vibrant democracy. So even though, you know, in the elites you may be seeing radical move, radical change, that's among the elites, and elites everywhere is like that. But the electorate is different, and therefore I'm quite optimistic that even in the next election we will be seeing election hopefully free, fair, hopefully, and that's our message too. And people will participate actively in this election. So going back to the main issues, I think what is our clear agenda on this, a few things. What we have noticed, and this is our main issue that we are echoing during our campaign. We have seen a new phenomenon across the globe, that disparities between countries were narrowing down, but disparities within countries were widening. Indonesia is now part of G20. 30 years ago, we are so far away from being top 20 economy in the world. Now we are in the club of big 20, the top 20. We will be moving up the ladder. Disparities between Jakarta, Tokyo, Singapore, New York, London were narrowing down. However, disparities within countries were widening. Between Jakarta and the rest of Java, between Java and the outer islands, between urban and rural, those are widening. And we need to address this issue, because Indonesian economy is not only Jakarta's economy, it's not only Java economy, but the economy across Indonesia. If we continue to have centralized centers of economic activity in Java, we will continue to pull best brain into Jakarta, into Java, and we will continue enlarging disparities. So our main message for our campaign is keadilan, equality, equal opportunity. And we would like to see more centers of economic growth across Indonesia. Not only in Java, but at least 14 other major cities across Indonesia to be stimulated, to be transformed into major mover of economy in those particular regions across Indonesia. So that's one aspect that I'd like to share here. So we will pursue the directions of reindustrialization. We need to continue on that. That is the path that we need to push, reindustrialization. And on that aspect, central government will have to provide clear policy direction on this. I was fortunate, I was so blessed to have the opportunity to serve in government, in the national government as Minister of Education, and then I served as governor. These are completely two different roles. One is delivering policy direction for the national level, but two is policy delivery at the local level. And I've experienced the fact that often we, the local leaders, governor, mayors, region, lack of clear national directions about issues that is of interest to national interest or local interest. Talk about investment. We don't have clear direction. What do we need to achieve? What are our KPI for each particular region? What is the direction we need to pursue? On social issue, the same thing. Maternity, angka kematian ibu melahirkan, maternal mortality rate, for example, or stunting, or